my boys. Iowa under, baby. And that hits.
One more time.
The Joker's playing his face off right now.
Yeah,
Hey, that's not
thing.
funny. He burned his face, Joe. What an asshole comment.
Oh, I told you. He did burn his face off.
The owner responded by giving him a raise and an extension.
Oh my God.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, boys.
Oh,
What's
I
up?
missed you guys. Happy New Year.
It's been a whole
it's been
week
9
since I've seen you.
9 days since the last recording. I feel weird.
Wow.
Welcome, boys. Welcome to the Juice Boy Show. 3 morons dumb enough to start a sports podcast. Too stupid to stop after 23, I believe.
That's what it is.
Is that right?
I think that's it.
Got
Episode
Mr. Paul
20.
Pelletier. We got the talent. JoJo
Jesus.
Linehan. I'm the
Call
third
me the
turd.
talent.
I'm the third turd,
I'm the
Cody.
researcher. I'm the data supplier.
He's the talent, but he wants the listener to discover that, not
That's
for it to
fair.
be announced.
Oh, my apologies. We are 3 brothers-in-law living out our dreams of having a weekly sports podcast. It's a new year, but the same sports morons now in high-quality audio format.
We're trying.
We got mics, guys.
Higher quality.
Yes.
Higher. Yeah.
We got a heavy-hitting sports docket. We got our squeeze of the week, our most outlandish takes, of course. Our poorly named big topic of the day, a.k.a. the big potato.
The potato.
Got our
Best
picks,
named one.
and always a favorite, our Wheel of Degeneracy to wrap up. Boys, how we doing? What are we drinking? We are so back for 2024.
2023 was not a good year for me. So I'm
Bummer. What? That's a bummer.
That was
no,
that's not the
I'm excited
tone
for a
to
better one.
start.
I'm excited for a better one. All right, so let's go 2024. Let's bring in the new year. I'm really excited. I got to spend New Year's with my buddy who currently lives in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia.
What the hell?
And
Hell yeah.
yeah, and his girlfriend who lives in Malaysia. So they brought out some Juice Boys merch with them. So let's see if we get some listeners in.
Yeah, can we get some listens
Asia?
out in Malaysia and Mongolia?
But as he came
Our
over,
vision board for the podcast was
that's right.
Malaysia.
As,
Oh, I love
as he
it.
came over for New
That's
Year's,
my top pick.
He came over for New Year's. He left me this fancy, delicious bottle of Old Forester 100 proof rye. It's really good.
Ooh, packs a
There's a
punch.
dent in that
It's
bottle
delicious.
as normal.
Right there. There's a huge dent because this was from New Year's, and I'm surprised there's any
That's
left.
fair. That's
So,
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Chris, what
And
are
my
we
beer
drinking?
chaser. Excuse you,
Oh
sir.
my
Wow.
God,
Sorry.
McCoy.
It's been a while. It's been 9 days. I'm off. Let's
Excuse
tighten
you.
it
I've
back
been on a
up.
real
Let's tighten it back
Mexican
up.
binge lately. Food,
Okay.
drinks, anything. So I'm doing this one local.
How's your toilet enjoying that?
I mean, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that, Chris. Local beer, once again, Oscar Blues Brewery. Mas Lima Cerveza. Lager with lime and salt. It's delicious. There you go.
What are you consuming?
Yeah, I'm dealing with, I got a 16-month-old at home, so that means that she's constantly just bringing home God knows what. So I am nursing another cold. So I'm drinking a Woodford Reserve Hot Toddy
Nice. Okay.
That's a nice mug.
out of a Rieger whiskey mug.
And Joey was supposed to have one. and it
Yeah,
broke
McCoy
in
managed to
transit.
transport one of the two, and I was the lucky winner of the non-broken one.
Literally just came down to me reaching in a bag. That's all it came to.
That's it.
I'm excuse me. I'm also
Because you're getting
fighting
cold too.
a
Jesus.
little
Yeah.
something. You know what? I'm going with a little Johnny Walker Red Label
Okay.
Oh.
shooter
Scotch,
edition
huh?
from Costa Rica.
Oh, okay. Shooter. I was
Oh.
like, you bought the whole bottle? That's not very
Isn't Red
McCoy
Label
of
the
you.
poor man's version? Is that the weakest of the?
It is, but that's fine. It's still got the same amount of liquor in it.
That's
Remember
fine.
when my little brother, shout out Chase McCoy, took shots of Green Label?
Green Label. It's like a $200 bottle, and we
he
were
was
all
just
cheersing to
mouthing
McCoy the night before his wedding, and listener Rhymes with Ike poured out like 2.5 shots into everybody's little glass. Cheers, clink.
Yeah,
Have a cheers to McCoy. And the baby McCoy went ahead and just threw it all back at once.
whole
and then looked
bottle.
at us and went, "Oh, that wasn't very good."
No, you're not supposed to shoot that, buddy. that's not a shooter.
Yeah, he shot
That's a sip and sniff.
That was a beautiful moment. I was so excited to have been a part of it.
A
was funny.
sip and what'd you call that, Joe? A
Snip
sip and
and
sniff.
or sniff and snip. Wait.
Ooh, who's getting snipped?
Snip.
Snip, snip.
Too much.
Snip,
Too
snap,
much
boys.
Snip, snap.
Oh, Joe, you had a New Year's resolution I wanted to get to. What did you?
You guys, I'm coming from a sports perspective, like I always do. And
Okay.
my resolution this year that I want to see happen, nothing I can control, because as much as I want to yell at my TVs, think that me doing this and talking actually makes an impact on everyday life, but it doesn't, but I
Sports
wish
moron.
it did. I wish it did. But so my resolution that I want to see happen, first, I want to see both the Avalanche and the Nuggets win. They're both capable of doing it. We're
Wow.
transitioning away from the NFL, and we're going into my slow season of hockey and basketball.
Mhm.
Jokic is putting up his best statistics he's ever had. And I say that every year. He keeps getting better. My next one that I think should happen, if it makes me, this was my perfect 2024, is that Nathan McKinnon and Jokic both win MVPs. All right. McKinnon is due. He's been in the top 3 the past 4 years. Right now, he's third. This is a hot take. He's plus 380, guys. Plus 380 for the Hart Trophy.
We diving in on
And
that?
I've got in on it already.
Oh,
Yeah,
put in the
and he's third right now behind Kucherov from Tampa Bay and McDavid from the Oilers. Both those teams are sucking ass right now. All right, and
McDavid's balling.
and
The Oilers are always sucking ass, and
It's
McDavid is the
insane.
only reason that they sometimes have flashes.
so you
McDavid's
got to give it to
averaging
you got to give it
2.5
to
points a game.
you got to give it to McKinnon this
I
year.
mean, he's McJesus.
You got to give it to McKinnon this year. They're tied for first place. He's playing his ass off. They still don't have Landeskog back. I think that if they both win MVP, they both win the titles. Just bring them both to Denver. Have a parade the same week. That would be so freaking awesome.
That would be dope. Yeah.
And let's go. If that happens, I will be happy because I'm tired.
there with you.
tired of watching the
Yeah, I'll be
Patriots.
right there
demise.
with you.
So
That'd be
there's
great.
my resolution. Let's go Denver sports.
Dang, Chris, you have a resolution, or should we jump into the docket?
If I'm going resolution, I want to see Nebraska basketball make March Madness. They're the only Power 5 team to have never had a win in March Madness.
Wait, their basketball team has never won in the tournament.
Never.
How is that possible?
Insane, right? Yeah, I think Hoiberg's
I
got
can
them
root for
trending in
that.
the right direction. They are playing a lot better this season. So this is kind of the first time in probably 10 years to where they actually have a team with enough talent to potentially break that streak. Even if they just make the tournament, I will be happy even if they go out round 1.
Dude, oh
forgot.
wow. I cannot believe that's a mind-blowing stat right there. I cannot
Crazy.
believe they've never made it. Is basketball big in Nebraska? I know it's huge in Iowa and places like that, mostly because of Caitlin Clark right now. But
She's
by the
balling.
way, did you see that,
She is
that game
balling.
winner last night from the
Oh,
logo?
that was insane.
That was
Yeah.
epic. That was epic. Dropped 40 again. She is so good. But McCoy, what would you like to see happen in this 2024?
I mean, Chiefs win a Super Bowl. If they won a Super, this is the year to sneak a Super Bowl in. I don't think it's going to happen, but I can.
Ugh.
But I was going to say my beer chaser is a Nutcracker Reese's Pieces that I just found in my hoodie.
All right, that's not a beer
Christmas.
chaser. That's a candy chaser.
That's right. That's my
a
thing.
lame-
You
that's
can
a
have your
lame
beer
Like
chaser.
in a
I have
moose
my
boosh.
candy.
It's a lame resolution. The Chiefs are probably not going to win, buddy.
Hey, I think
I mean,
my hot take is the
Nebraska's
Ravens
Nebraska's probably not going to make the tournament either. But it's January. Sue
This
us
is
for
my
being hopeful, I
resolution.
guess.
The Ravens get 2 weeks off. The last time they did that and got the 1 seed, they lost in the
right.
first round to Derrick Henry and the Titans.
I don't think Kansas City's going to get out of the first round, buddy. But I called that before the season started. If you don't
No,
remember.
you did. Oh,
Yes,
my
I
gosh.
did.
Oh, go
yes, I
find the
did.
tape.
Oh my God. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back in the tape.
Oh, gosh.
I guarantee you I called that. I said that Baltimore would get the number 1 overall seed. Remember, I said that I picked Joe Burrow, but I said Baltimore will get the number 1 overall seed. Then I said that Cincinnati would beat Kansas City at home, and Kansas City would be out the first round of the playoffs. I'm
so
wrong about the Bengals, but I said that Kansas City will be out the first round of the playoffs, and I called the Ravens being the first
Really
overall
splicing
seed.
that take together, but I'll take it. All right, boys. Sports docket, shall we?
Let's have a chat.
The Russell Wilson experience is over in Denver.
It's bad.
I have here
What
that the
a
Russell
shit show.
Wilson experiment is over. How's our reading?
Russell Wilson experience. I like that too, though. Yeah.
Russell Wilson's out.
He's Mr. Unlimited.
Yeah, he was limited. He had a
He
limited
was limited,
playbook.
yeah.
He had a limited playbook. Oh shit, a limited playbook.
You're doing great. Keep
According
sounding
to
it
Sean
out.
Payton, he's going to get paid like $130 million for 11 wins in 2 seasons. He's been
Unbelievable.
benched for
My
Jared
God.
Stidham.
Hey, Stiddy won last week, boys.
Stiddy won?
Stiddy
He did.
won.
Russell wasn't expected to be cut.
I don't think they can get rid of him. If they cut him, that's $85 million in dead cap that's going to hit them.
They can split it over 2 years, though.
Now they can keep him and they can draft Jaden Daniels, all right, and then they can just do an Alex Smith Mahomes situation, all right. What does Russell Wilson have? Well, what else does he have to do? Is he going to hold out? Okay,
No, he's gonna get cut.
that would save the Broncos money if he holds out, right? If they cut him, that's $85 million in dead cap that they have to owe him. That screws over everything. No one's going to take that contract.
Right. So then
No one's
going
gonna
to
take that contract, so
re-sign at a
you
new
can't-
contract.
Okay, if they cut him, then they're doing detrimental problems to that team.
Mhm.
Right? They need to hold on to him until they can get a quarterback. And you get a quarterback in the draft. That does not hurt your cap that much. It's already done. I think that him and Sean Payton just need to have a powwow and be like, all right, we fucking hate each other. We know this. All right. But you're not
gone.
going to go anywhere. I can't let you go anywhere, but we need to figure this out and then get Jaden Daniels or Drake May or whoever else is going to fall to that whatever 12
Yeah, I don't
spot.
think Jaden Daniels is going to be available for the Broncos.
Dude, I've heard
anymore.
recently
I
he might be coming up and passing Keelan
Yeah, I
Williams.
think
Russell
and,
Wilson
and I
is
think
done. They got the union involved. He is not a Denver Bronco after March 5th. He is getting
So what are the Broncos going to do then?
They're gonna split the $85 million dead cap into 2 years. Peter King, who's an NFL insider, thinks that Stidham's the starting quarterback next year. They're gonna draft someone to kind of do the Alex Smith thing, like you said, but it'd be Stidham for a year. Get a rookie in there that Sean Payton can groom into his next Drew Brees. And then
Yeah, Jaden Daniels isn't that. Jaden Daniels moves. Like, okay, Sean Payton is looking for a statue that's just going to throw and not move. I don't think that player exists anymore. I really don't.
Joe
think
Flacco is out there slinging the ball, and you're telling me that player doesn't exist anymore?
Browns will lose first round, dude.
That's
Browns
fine.
will lose first round.
But does Joe Flacco still exist?
unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, and he's out there slinging it.
Still
did they do
wasting
him
all of our
dirty? I
good
also read
oxygen.
Derek Carr. The exact thing happened to Derek Carr last year, and we weren't bitching and moaning about it. Like the same. That's why Jared Stidham was playing the last 2 games of last year because Derek Carr got sent home with a bad contract. So Russell Wilson, I think they're doing him dirty because
Weren't they able to
asked him
trade
after
him
Chiefs
to the
won.
Saints though?
No, he signed free agent.
Okay.
Yeah, I
'cause
thought
was
he
like,
got cut.
All right, because I'm just like I just don't know how they're going to be able to get out of this horrible contract.
Where the
I mean, if
Broncos
you
screwed up.
remember back like 2 months ago, I remember having the same conversation before Broncos went on that run of just sitting Russ down and going, do you care about your legacy or do you care about your paycheck? If it's your paycheck, we'll eat this contract. Like, we made the mistake, but you're going to find yourself riding the bench and expected to help whoever's next in line. If you care about your legacy, then how do we restructure this in a way to where other teams might be willing to pick up a chunk of that? We take some of the chunk and you wind up going and chasing glory somewhere else. Like,
Well, I've
ball's
heard
in
a
his
few names.
hands.
I've heard a few names of some trade people that they might do it because they're just in such disarray. Pittsburgh might actually be a decent spot for him.
Wouldn't be bad.
I mean, it wouldn't be bad. I've heard New England, which I'm like, damn it. I've heard Atlanta, which would also might not be a bad spot because he's decent with tight ends. They have speed on the outside. He doesn't really do anything across the middle, and that's why Sean Payton doesn't want him anymore because the only time he's successful is when he cooks. When Russ cooks and he gets out of the pocket and he scrambles and he slices and dices. Sean Payton hates that. He hates that. So I think Russell still has some gas in the tank. He had better stats this year than Patrick Mahomes. He did. But it's just Mahomes had more interceptions and they're equal on yards and touchdowns. So it's just the guy's still got something in there, just needs the right offense.
I mean, God damn it, you're going to make me say something
do
that
it.
Cody likes. If we're just comparing what happens on paper, then you're ignoring everything that MVS and Kadarius Toney have done to contribute to where Mahomes' stats
Mahomes
are
still leads the league
versus
in
where
yards.
they would be if he had even just like a mediocre receiving core. Like, comparing those two completely ignores who is responsible for where those stats lie in each of those two situations.
Also, I wonder if Russ has a no trade clause. He is not going to approve. They fucked him over Like they went to the union.
yeah.
There's a union. Like there's lawsuits
Well,
pending.
it was just embarrassing, dude. You
Yeah,
don't
it was-
you don't
Broncos didn't have a
rip
good
you
look.
don't rip a player of Russell Wilson's like stature like that on national TV. I mean, it was just like this isn't college. This isn't high school. This dude is a former what is it?
Former
Walter
Hall of
Payton,
Famer.
potential Hall of Famer, and
Former
Walter Payton,
potential
Man
Hall
of the
of
Year, should be 2-time Super Bowl champion. You can't do that. And so I think that was over when he did that, and he's like, all right, want to treat me like a petulant child, then I will be one.
Yeah,
So
Broncos not a good look there. Not a good
No.
look.
No,
you know what else
absolutely
isn't
not.
a good look? The refs of the Cowboys versus
my
Lions.
God, dude.
Oh my gosh.
God.
Did he
So-
report? Did he not report? The NFL
He
also-
reported, bro.
He
He's
absolutely
100%
did. He
reported.
100% for sure.
100% reported. And the thing that's bullshit about this is that the Lions did something actually really smart, and they sent 3 guys over there, so they didn't know.
Deception.
They didn't know who was reporting. That's absolute bullshit. You saw them go over. You see Jared Goff on film tell Decker, 68, to go over and report. You see the 2 guys over there talk to him. Then you see 70 run in. And then the guy says, oh, I thought it was 70. It's like, that's
Well, and then they
absolute
announced 70.
bullshit.
That's where
They
he
announced
screwed
it.
up. He screwed
Yeah.
because he told the defense 70. He had to eat it and he had to own it because he
That's
can't go
absolute
back.
bullshit. That's bullshit. I mean, and it's like, and you see something
It's a
that
huge
egregious,
mistake.
Huge
that
mistake.
egregious in that situation. I was just over at my folks' house, and Big Cat's just losing his freaking mind because he loves Dan Campbell and loves the Lions, and he's like, "Where's this piece of shit Goodell? Just get in there and just overturn it. Just overturn the game. Just do it right now." Like, you can't, Dad. You can't.
He's in
do
his
that.
basement eating M&Ms.
So you can't do that. What about the Saints a couple of years ago when that guy got tackled in the
Yes.
NFC Championship game?
Wow.
The most egregious no call I've ever seen. All right, there was nothing then. You know, it was just like, you can't. I don't know. It was a bummer. It was horrible. And what an unbelievably awesome play. The same thing with the stupid ass Travis Kelce throw. What an unbelievably awesome play. They
But
just
now we're
took
talking
it
about the
away.
refs.
Now,
Talking about
okay.
the refs.
Now he was offside.
Thank you, McCoy.
He was offside with that one, and the Lions really got screwed because they did it right, and that was a badass play.
Yeah, that is
So-
true. That is the quintessential difference there is the ref screwed up, made the wrong PA announcement for who was eligible. In the Chiefs situation, like that is 100% Tony's fault versus the Lions. Like the ref screwed up,
They did.
but refused to eat that. And so,
And then the NFL just sent a video out to all teams on how to report eligible linemen. So that's them saying
it's
Lions
extremely
screwed up.
helpful now. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Lions. That's saying Lions messed this up, not the refs. The NFL doesn't care. They don't
You
care
gotta
about
be-
that.
You got to be kidding me, dude.
But now the Cowboys get the number 2 seed because Philly loses to Arizona. Anyways, also the CFP championships on Monday, I believe. So which way
Yes.
you going? You going review the 2 games, reviewing the championship?
I want to talk about the last 2 games because I was so angry with that last play by Alabama because it was a great play call.
One guy
Milrow
didn't
ran
block.
it
Just one
wrong.
guy.
No, Milrow ran it wrong, dude. That was, you watch the
Because
play
of the
over
snap.
again. That guard came out and he was walking into the end zone. All Milrow had to do was just follow him. He didn't. He was a low snap and he panicked and went straight up the middle.
Yeah.
And there was no chance whatsoever. The reason that pisses me off is, did you guys see my 5-leg parlay? That was the one
No.
that didn't hit. That was the only one that didn't freaking hit. I hit every single other one. And I was like, ah! I put 2 units on Bama anyway because I hate Michigan. Right? 'Cause I hate Michigan. So I was thinking, all right, here we go, baby, make me that money. And then that was the only ones. I picked Washington and I picked Oregon against the spread, and I picked my boys Iowa under, baby. And that hit.
One more
So-
time. He brought it
So
home.
stupid ass
Last one.
Milrow cost me out of like $100, but oh well.
And I love that we're giving Iowa credit for the under as if it was their stellar defense rather than their completely anemic offense that lends
doesn't matter.
itself
And the
to,
punter.
to the
Punter,
under.
baby.
It's amazing. It's incredible.
7 weeks in a row, baby. That is money in my pocket.
They're the only team ever
I'll give it
to
to you.
get shut out 3 times in a season and still win 10 games.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
Unbelievable.
Could you imagine if they had a quarterback? Could you imagine if
Not
they
even a
had, if they
quarterback,
had an offense?
just anyone who could just
Anyone who doesn't look like an even more obese Ben Roethlisberger. So yeah, that's shocking. That quarterback is 6'2", 280 or something. I was like, good Lord, that's a brick.
Yeah, he's a monster.
And he doesn't move and he doesn't throw. So it's like,
really
what do
doesn't
you
throw.
do?
Yeah.
How did you make it to Iowa?
he
He
takes up
just
space.
eats sacks.
I'm super disappointed that Michigan won. They did play a really good game. They were down. They came back at the end, and they deserved to win that game, even though Milroe messed it up. That would have sent to double overtime. That was so that would have just tied the game there. Would they have gone for the win or for the tie? Would they have gone to double overtime, or would they have gone for the win? Ooh, I think
you trust your defense. Go one more time.
Yeah.
Go one
Yeah,
more
I think
time.
he
You
would've
trust
gone
your
for the tie.
defense.
In the next game, Michael Penix Jr. is working his way into a first-round draft pick, dude. Holy crap!
Oh,
that's
he not
without a
first
doubt,
round?
he's there.
It.
He's
Was he
there.
not already?
Gotta be.
No, he wasn't. Right?
No.
On some people's, he's not. He's still not on their first-round draft boards, which is shocking. It's because he throws funky like Tua because he's a lefty. But dude, that guy, he put up. They said that his
And
stats.
he's also had his ACL fixed twice.
Twice? Oh,
But twice, yeah, when he was in Indiana.
that's not zero.
That's why he's 24 years old now. Is he got extra years of eligibility because of his injuries? So he's 2 years older than C.J. Stroud. Oh yeah, he's the same age as Trevor Lawrence. Yeah,
Jeez.
Bo Nix is older
Nix is
than Michael
37
Penix.
years old.
Yeah, Bo Nix is-
Bo Nix
Michael
is
Penix
older
put on a
than
great
me.
show. I really think that high-powered offense against Michigan's defense is going to be a good equalizer. I think it's going to be a really good game, and I want to see Washington do it so bad. They haven't won since 91 or 89, one of those two. But it's been a long time since for Washington. They're building up a little bit of a major program here, and if they win the national championship. Hell yeah. Give it to a Pac-12 school in the last year of Pac-12
Oh,
existence.
gee.
Pretty
Well, yeah,
cool.
they have
love
all
it.
those quarterbacks,
I
too.
love
They
it.
had so much talent. This was the year to,
Yep.
if you're a marketing person, like, the future is bright for the Pac-12.
They said it was the best statistical game in college football history by a quarterback was Penix.
400 yards.
I'm a believer in the big Penix energy.
Oh.
You know, I love it. Yeah, I went in kind of not so sold because there's a lot of folks amongst Broncos country that want to see Penix coming to Denver. I wasn't so certain, you know, those 2 ACL repairs. He's had a ligament in his non-throwing arm, in his shoulder having to be repaired. You know, the dude's just had a lot of repair work already done for somebody who's just now coming into the league. But my God, that throwing talent, it's a thing of beauty. It's unreal
Kinda
how
reminds me of
talented he
Tua.
is.
You know, reminds me of Tua with his
Except he
injuries
can
in
throw it
college.
down the field.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Tua's doing a pretty good job with Tyreek this year with that, but
I could throw the ball down the field with Tyreek.
I could too. I know. We already know that, you know, because I've said that I could.
Because you said, yeah.
As I said, give me Alabama.
that's been a
give me
point
7
multiple
seconds.
times.
The quick hit list, we got a lot in the NFL. Bills in Miami. They play a huge game Sunday Night Football. Philly loses to Arizona now in the wild card. Can you
Oh,
believe
Jesus.
that? Houston
Arizona
versus
beating
Indy.
Dallas and Philly this year. What the hell?
Unbelievable.
Shout out to that coach.
Fantastic.
Houston plays Indy. Whoever wins is in as the wild card. Jacksonville just needs to win, and they're in on the division side. Packers win, and they're in. Pick one. What do you guys think? This is kind of the fun and weird week. A lot of starters are out sitting. Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson are out. Brock Purdy's sitting, but a lot of teams are playing a desperation game. I'm so excited for the Bills Miami game Sunday Night Football.
That's going to be excellent, dude.
I love Houston versus Indy. I mean, those are two teams that no one
Sloppy.
had. Yeah, that no one expected to be in this sort of position.
Just happy
you
to be
know,
there.
CJ Stroud and what's his name at
Magic
Indy?
Minshew.
Minshew.
Minshew Mania, baby.
Minshew
I
Mania.
love Gardner
I knew
Minshew.
exactly what I was
Rico,
thinking of. I
baby,
just couldn't think of his
Uncle
freaking
Rico.
name. But I just love the two of them stacked up against one another, as we all expected
Of course.
going into this season for a playoff spot. I mean, it's amazing. Can't wait.
Packers winning, they're in. I think we talked about one of our
Dude,
first
that could be a
episodes. What
great
does
game.
Jordan Love need to do for the Packers fans to respect him?
This is it.
This is his
This is
moment,
it.
baby. This is
Rodgers didn't make it last year in his last year. Rodgers didn't make it, dude. This is it. He's got to go, dude.
He
Like,
wins.
And that's
them
the thing is outside of listener Dakota, Packers fans are still talking shit on Love as if he's garbage.
I don't get it. Why don't you guys just understand your team isn't that good, right? And so it's just like you're not a Super Bowl caliber roster with Aaron Rodgers or without Aaron Rodgers. You were bad last year with them, and you're 8-8 right now. That's probably what you are. You're probably an
might be able to
8-8
get in.
football team.
Yep.
You know, so but I'm picking the Bears in that game, man. I think the Bears, if they can finish the season
Yeah, they're heating
8-9,
up.
I think Justin Fields is going to go out there and ball because this is it for him, man. Like they're going to have to make the decision. Do you keep Justin Fields and trade the pick, or do you take Caleb Williams? And I freaking love Justin Fields. And I think that if they get rid of him, they're freaking crazy.
Him and DJ Moore, you go get Marvin Harrison on the other side.
Oh, baby. I also think
That'd be
that
deadly.
I also think that they have a lot more holes to fill than just that. I trade that pick and get a lot of picks for it.
Go get an
You know,
O-line, too.
and build.
You can give Justin Fields some time.
Build.
That'll do it for the sports bucket. Damn it.
I'm doing great
For the
today.
sports docket. And we're back, boys. Squeeze of the week. 2023 quickly became one of our favorite segments on this podcast.
Yes.
This is our most outlandish takes. No listener submitted ones this week. It's just me and Chris.
Oh, back to the old days.
squeezy.
huh?
Back to the old
Give him
days.
some squeezies.
Starting the new year clean, fresh of junkies, and just us. All right.
Oh, Chris, you want it first?
Sure.
Oh,
Do it
take it.
quick. Let me know. Let me know. This was a thought that I've had that I was going to talk about last week. But last week we had the squeezies. So
We did. The annual
yeah.
squeeze. We got to
Yeah.
be in person, guys. I missed you. It was a good time.
it was a good time.
That was so fun.
Go check it on
So-
YouTube. We posted the the thing at a
that was
ping
fun
pong
to
table
watch
in
on-
an in-laws basement.
That was right.
I love
See
it.
my Shoresy jersey.
Yeah.
That he's currently wearing.
I am wearing it right now. Yes.
All right, so
do you
the
got, Chris?
squeeze is that Baker Mayfield would have the Browns as a Super Bowl contender had the Browns actually backed him up.
Keep going. I like it.
Let that sink in.
There's some
So the
sifting.
Browns went ahead and shot themselves in the foot by giving away 3 first-rounders in addition to an insane contract to go grab Deshaun Watson, which I will have more on later.
I love those segues.
Had they not done that, I think Baker would have had them poised not only as a Super Bowl contender, but as one of the kind of top teams in the AFC in general. So this season, with the Buccaneers, Baker has passed for 3,900 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions with a 95.9 rating
Let's go,
average.
Baker. What a great.
During his time in Cleveland, he never had below 3,000 passing yards and averaged more than 20 yards per season, despite having 4 different head coaches in his 4 freaking years in Cleveland.
All 4 was 4 different coaches.
Yeah. Well,
So he
there
averaged
was
more than 20
I think he
passing
had
touchdowns. 'Cause
I think
said
he had
passing
2
yards.
seasons with Stefanski, but there was one season where he had 2 different head coaches because they had an interim then Stefanski. But either way, I mean, if you were to give him this team and some longevity and some stability, I think
And
he
Nick
would-
Chubb. Did we forget about Nick?
Nick
And
freaking
Chubb.
Amari
Chubb?
Cooper
Oh,
and
my
Njoku's
God.
playing his face off right now.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
that's
the
not
thing.
funny. He burned his face. Joe, what an asshole comment.
Oh, I told you. He did burn his face off. Oh, listener, I'm
Joey.
sorry. And Joku, I'm sorry. Yeah, listener, if
He's
you
a
didn't
big
know,
listener.
he lost his face in a tragic grill accident,
That was
but then
not
showed
funny,
up
Joe.
pre-game in the most baller, badass, terrifying mask I've ever seen
Yeah,
in
he
my
played
life.
like the next day.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Not funny, Joe. Chris, continue.
Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's my whole squeeze is put Baker Mayfield in there, actually have backed him up for the last few years, let him develop, let him gain control of the locker room as a leader. And I think he would have that team humming right now versus now Cleveland's on their 4th starting quarterback for the season. 5th, 4th.
Dude. And Joe Flacco has to be their savior. Imagine if they had a real quarterback. Imagine if they had a real quarterback. and not
Imagine
Joe
if they
Flacco.
had Baker Mayfield.
So Baker Mayfield, I'm 100% on board with this because Baker Mayfield, as we brought up before, was one fumble through the end zone by Rashard Higgins away from beating the Chiefs and going
That's
to the
not true. It
AFC
was the first
Championship
half.
game.
They had the lead in the first half. The Chiefs came back by 20,
No.
14 million times that season.
No.
They would have had the lead.
That
They
would
would
have
have had a bigger
that would have
lead.
buried them. That was still a one-score game.
Oh.
That was still a one-score game. They would have gone up 2 touchdowns at that point.
Oh, that's
I
cute.
remember that specifically because it was
Chiefs have
CSU
never
Rashard
come back
Higgins,
from
and I
that.
used to be a huge Browns fan before Deshaun Watson. I loved Baker back then. I was rooting hard for them. I got some friends that live out there, obviously family. We all have family that lives out there.
We do.
All right, but no, I agree with that. If they would have stuck with him, they would have a lot more money, a lot more draft picks, and they'd have the team they have now would be a lot better.
I think it's a shitty take.
What? Then defend it, McCoy.
Baker,
Then go ahead and push back against
He
it,
would have been a
buddy.
subpar quarterback. He would have just been a nice placeholder for that. If you have Nick Chubb, I would agree that if you have Nick Chubb and the defense, Myles Garrett, he would just be a nice little Alex Smith addition. He's not leading no team to no Super Bowl. He was the quarterback of the great defense. He's Trent Dilfer. He's a glorified Trent.
Look at what he can do.
You
with
still would
the-
have had to pay him. Like, nah.
Look what he can do with the number 1 receiver. Look what him and Mike Evans have done.
Yeah, go
Holy
8-8. What are
crap,
we talking
dude.
about? Like,
Okay,
nothing.
there's more than just a quarterback and more than just
There's
they're
winning
not a
and then
very
there's
good team.
winning.
They did the same exact record and he had the same exact stats as Tom Brady last year, right? And it's just like Tom Brady's the greatest living human being. Well, sorry, greatest living American. I can't go that far. All right, the greatest living American. All right.
So you're
sorry.
saying in a division with Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, you're going to throw Baker Mayfield as any threat in that division?
Yes.
In that whole conference?
Yes, with that team.
No
yes.
way in hell. No way
Chris,
in hell.
I like it. Listener,
2 out of 3,
DM,
McCoy.
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
hey,
hear it.
hey,
I
Mayfield
love
ain't leading
Baker.
shit.
hey, how many times have we said our favorite squeezes are the ones that split the morons?
Yes.
Right.
Baker Mayfield's going 8-8 for the rest of his career.
He may. I still just think if he actually had a shot to be at the helm and
They
be a
did screw him.
leader-
I will say, yeah. They
did
did
him so
without a
dirty.
doubt. Nobody's arguing
They did him
against that
so
one.
dirty.
All right. You ready for my squeeze? A little short.
Yes.
Very little.
keep it to yourself.
Very, very little research. More just a feeling of just pissed offness about this. Why the fuck do we got to wait 4 weeks for the CFP playoff to start?
It's a really good point.
The Ravens, they're talking about taking 2 weeks off, and is that going to throw off their mojo for professionals? You know what? Let's take a fucking month off and wait to play CFP important games. Let's go to the trashy ass bowl games. Let's either start the season later or let's put more games in, but let's not take 4 weeks and move on with our lives and then, oh yeah, let's pay attention for 2 weeks here to the CFP. It's always pissed me off. All just in the name of tradition. And
Well,
sitting
I
and-
don't
and
know about how
come
much
New
of it
Year's
is-
Day.
I don't know how much of it is true. Yeah, New Year's Day is a really big part of it.
That's what I'm saying. They've been doing it
not have
forever.
on there.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of a part of it also is for those teams to get fully healthy and ready to go. It gives
Am I
them
taking
an
a month
opportunity
off?
to. Hell yeah, get everybody back, and I guarantee you they're not practicing full contact every day for that month, bro.
A month
I
off?
guarantee
What
like
are we doing?
the first 2 weeks is just film study, getting everybody healthy, running through some stuff. I mean, it takes that much time to get your body right. I like it, and I think that it
So should the
produces a
NFL? What
great-
other sport in the history of sports do you take a month off before playing the next big game? Thank you.
You don't.
That's it's stupid.
I mean, 4
You
years
know-
in the Olympics.
You know
That's-
what might help with this
that's fair.
yeah.
is expanding the CFP to 12 teams so that there's more games to be played, so that you have to shorten that time between the end of the season and picking back up for the CFP.
Yeah, maybe let's not start on like August 1st against the deaf and the blind that we're playing for $6 million to
Citadel.
pay them.
How many times has the Citadel played
dear Lord.
Alabama? Yeah.
Shout out
Where
to
the
the
hell
deaf and blind.
even is the Citadel?
It's just
I can
stupid.
tell
Like,
you,
why are we
but I
taking a
have to
month
kill
off? That's my take. Thoughts? Good.
Yeah. It's got,
I could take it or leave it. I
it's
think
got a
it's-
little bit of pulp. I don't
it's-
mind it because usually, Cody, as much as you don't want to admit that you are a CSU Ram, though that month in between is what is made for schools like us. All right, that's our opportunity to get our bowl game and have some fun. All right, and then
How is it fun? It's just exhibition matches.
It's all the
part of
same
the
weekend no
culture
one's
of the
gonna
game.
watch.
part of the culture of the game.
Bowl season is garbage. We all know it.
It's
NIL,
fun.
transfer
Part
portal,
of
it's
it.
ruined
When
the whole
CSU
thing.
was actually in bowls, it was fun to go watch them. It was fun to go watch them, even though they got their asses handed to them by Utah in the Las Vegas Bowl in 2014. That was fun.
What a
It was
classic.
fun.
Joey definitely rememers the 2014
Because we
CSU
were 18th
Rams.
ranked. We were get Garrett Grayson.
Joey, if people want to submit their squeezes of the week in 2024, how can they do so?
Baby. New year, but still the same way. All right. Listener, listener, you can submit your most outlandish sports take by emailing us at juiceboysshow at gmail.com. That is juiceboyshow at gmail.com. DM us at Instagram at juiceboys show. And if it has the pulp, then we'll read it on the show. Chris!
JoJo.
Who's sponsoring today's show, buddy?
Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of the Juice Boys Show is proudly sponsored by the Conference of Champions, the Pac-12.
Oh, might be the national champion.
The Pac-12 is so excited to finally have their very first entry into the college football playoff championship game. The Pac-12 is a fantastic and historic conference spanning more than 100 years of existence, and we would like to take this moment to congratulate one of our founding members, the Washington Huskies, in their success this season, and best of luck as you prepare for your upcoming matchup with Big Ten foe Michigan Wolverines. The Pac-12 would also love to take this opportunity to thank the Huskies for their generous going-away present of a knife in the back. A2 Husky?
Checks out.
And sure, you left us bleeding out on the floor as you head toward greener pastures to the east. But all that matters now is that you focus on this opportunity to play for a natty as we hobble into the head office of the Mountain West looking to poach anything and everything not nailed down.
Mountain 12.
So go ahead, Huskies. Enjoy the top of the college football mountain. The Pac-12 will be just fine with only Oregon State and Wazoo.
Jeez.
The Pac-12. Just because our corpse is already picked completely clean doesn't mean you can't still kick us while we're down.
Dude, the schedules that came out. There's what are they going to do next year?
They're a two-team conference.
They
does that
signed a
mean?
contract to be partnered with a conference. I just can't remember who it was.
It's probably ACC. It makes absolutely no sense. But yeah, I bet it is. So
All right, boys. Today's big tot, the big potato.
Let's get
Starting
it.
the year off strong. The old Russell Wilson contract got us inspired. Today's big potato is worst and or best, depending on how you want to look at this. Worst or best contracts in sports history.
yes,
Joey, kick it off.
Russ's is pretty bad.
Let's go, JoJo.
Russell Wilson's was pretty
But good. I mean, his agent, his
it was
agent
good for him.
Oh yeah, $40 million
for him. So-
injury guarantee.
Great for him.
I guess either way that you look at these, they're all either one's going to be good or bad. I mean, depending on like how you did it.
Who are you looking at?
Now,
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to start with this one because we have to just literally like break this contract down and just understand the hilarity and amazingness of this contract. And for everybody who doesn't know the Bobby Bonilla story,
Oh,
it is
Godfather.
it's absolutely incredible. Okay. Now, every single year on July 1st, Bobby Bonilla gets $1.1 million from the Mets. Okay. Now, the problem with that is
love
Bobby
it.
Bonilla is currently 60 years old.
He played in the 90s.
In the 90s, yeah. Now, in 1991,
I wasn't born yet.
he signed this contract, and he is still getting paid to this day, right now. All right. Right now, he's still getting paid. So in 1991, he was a pretty decent player. Okay. He's a pretty decent player. And the Mets gave him a 5-year, $29 million contract. Okay. Bobby Bonilla said, I'll take that, but I'm going to defer it until the year 2011. Okay. I'm going to defer until 2011, and you're going to pay me until the year 2035. So Bobby Bonilla will be 72 years old, and he will still be on the payroll for the New York
That'd be
Mets.
amazing.
What was his annual salary like without the deferments? Then
It was $1.2 million.
that's
So
you can-
without
you
the
can live on
deferments,
that.
it was 5 years. Oh, it was 5 year 29, so a little less than 6.
Okay.
So and he did 1.2 over 25 years. The guy's an absolute brilliant. I wish it never happened because stupid Shohei Ohtani copied him, and now that's ruining baseball.
A lot of people did. King Griffey Jr. still getting paid.
It was absolutely incredible. Now, the problem that makes this the worst contract is that for the Mets, he only played 515 games.
Oh,
That's
geez.
it. Okay, there's 162 games in a Major League Baseball season. They're paying this guy until he's 72 years old, and he gave them 95 home runs and 295 RBIs in 515 games.
He'll collect Social Security before he's off the roster of that team.
The Mets had the highest payroll last year in baseball, and he's still the 20th highest paid person on that team. He still has
Still cashing them checks, baby.
still got about 12 million left to go.
Oh, and the owners sold the Mets. So, I mean, that was someone else's
They had to
problem.
inherit that. They had to
Yeah.
inherit that contract.
You know, the auditing, the accounting people were like, what?
Who the
this
hell
guy's-
is
he-
Bobby Bonilla?
He was
There's no way anybody is acquiring that team without having already marked that day on their calendar for the next multiple decades.
Yep. And on that day, it's usually they have a baseball game. It's Bobby Bonilla Day.
It
They
is
celebrate.
July 1st every day, day before my birthday. And we're like, oh, Bobby Bonilla Day.
What a great start, Chris. Who you
love it.
got?
Fellas, I had to go with the contract that is the sole reason why the awful contract by Russell Wilson will never actually be at the tippity top of the list of worst contracts in the NFL. Thank you to the Cleveland Browns
Shit.
and Deshaun Watson for taking that top spot and saving the Broncos. Just a smidge of embarrassment.
That top spot and punting it into the moon where no one can ever reach it.
It's so bad.
So Deshaun Watson was poached by the Cleveland Browns to the tune of 5 years, $230 million guaranteed.
While in the middle of what?
But wait, hang on.
In the middle of what?
What about that
And
guarantee?
in 2022, he played in 6 games after completing his 11-game suspension for being a sex pest.
Oh God.
Times
in those-
23?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in those 6 games, he completed a meager 58% of his passing of his passes, the worst percentage of his career.
Jeez.
And he followed that up with another wonderful 6-game stint in the entire 2023 season. In those 6 games, he threw for 1,100 yards, 7 tutties, and 6 picks with a rating of 84.3.
Oof.
And so I
Cashing
went,
them
and did, I
checks.
went and did a little looking around. So if the Browns decided to cut bait and run, they would be eating $136.9 million in dead cap at the end of this season. More than 50% of their entire cap for next season.
Oh my God.
And that's the case until the end. There's not a single season
there's not an
where
out year?
There's not an out
Oh.
until after the 2026 season, or maybe it's before after the 2026 season is the first opportunity that they have to actually cut him without being out tens of millions of dollars. And for anybody who watched
Tens
him
of
play
millions,
this
dude.
year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tens of millions. It's fully guaranteed, Chris.
yeah, fully
The only
Every-
contract
What does that mean? What does
ever.
that mean? That means
It means
Every
they owe him
last
Only
every
guaranteed.
cent.
doesn't
So
matter.
even if they cut him,
And so-
they have to pay him. Yeah.
And so, for anybody that actually watched him play this year, he played exactly like you would expect a man to play who knows that no matter what you put out onto the field, no matter how much you half-ass it, no matter how much you milk every single injury to give yourself just time off to just hang out and do nothing, they still owe you that same paycheck because you absolutely just own the Cleveland Browns for the next 4 more years, for the next 2 more years now.
after he said he
But,
didn't want to play for the Browns until the Browns said, well, what if we give you this kind of contract? He's like,
he was
man, I got to
set
do
to
it.
go to the Dolphins, and they're like, what if we gave you enough money to make ourselves a national historic embarrassment? And now he's going out and playing as if he doesn't want to play, and he's looking to just drum up injuries to just keep cashing the checks and not ever actually have to,
Oh my gosh.
do anything on the field, which he's not the only person to do that.
And when he signed it, he had not settled the court cases. So the Browns,
He had
There was
not.
still ongoing active investigations coming
And the
off of
Browns
a
still did it.
year-long- Actually, wasn't it an indefinite suspension that ended up being a year plus?
yeah.
Because at first they said it was just
No, he was on the Browns when they were discussing what the suspension was going to be. So he signed the paper. Oh my gosh, what a shit.
Yeah. Insane.
I mean he's
I mean,
I think
$230 million guaranteed would have been insane for Deshaun Watson as is, let
At
alone
peak Deshaun Watson.
let alone eating a year of sitting out because, as we said, you're a sex pest is
Jeez.
unreal.
Dude, my favorite quote on this was Brady Quinn. He just says, like, everyone with the medical opinion has cleared Deshaun Watson, but he's not playing. The situation is almost similar to a kid getting a $230 million trust fund. You ask them to get a job, and they have no incentive to do it. Just like, why the hell would I ever do that? I'm guaranteed this money. I'm guaranteed.
Unless I feel
and
100%,
so-
I'm not going out.
Yeah, and so then the dude on Deshaun Watson's side started getting after him and swearing at him, and it was just so funny. And he just classic with class. He said, "How about we massage this conversation and get it to a happy ending?" All right, does that sound satisfactory? That is absolutely fantastic. I hope that they lose. I hope that they lose, man. Joe Flacco makes me hate him so much more.
Chris coming in with the Roman Coliseum of picks. How do I keep up with that?
I had to do it. I had to do it because
That's the
ties into
worst.
my next pick. So really, Deshaun is here to set up
There's one that's worse.
who I've got next.
All right, I'm
Just you
going.
wait.
I'm going to football pick. I'm going to stay on that one. Quarterback, LSU, 2007.
Oh, we haven't talked
Changed.
about this guy too.
Changed the whole layout of rookie contracts. He's a fan favorite of the show.
right.
Mr. Jamarcus Russell.
We love some Jamarcus Russell.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, so this was, I think, was it, Joey might know, was it Matt Ryan and Jamarcus Russell? They both got insane rookie contracts. Was it around this time?
Yeah, they did.
Insane guarantees.
Sam Bradford. Was the
Yep,
other
Sam
big one.
Bradford's never
Because,
played a
Matt Ryan
snap.
was the third pick. So the number ones with Jamarcus Russell and Sam Bradford. I think Russell had like a $60 million signing bonus.
Yeah,
So
it was, and then also it was 6 years, $68 million. And that's just as a rookie, no one's established. Literally, the NFL had to come in and change the rules on rookie contracts. You can't balloon them up that big.
Now you
6
have
years,
to max
68.
out at 5 years in the fourth year with a fifth year option, all that shit because of this.
He was, his weight ballooned up to 290,
Like you do.
like one.
Big Iowa quarterback fan.
Yeah, but he had an arrest for drug possession. That was the final straw, was the drug possession. There's stories coming out that he was given film tape that was blank.
Yeah.
And never came back to tell the team, and it was a big test to see if he was ever watching film. Shocker, he didn't touch any film.
Wow.
So
Yeah, you give him.
he had a cannon. Oh, he was the right pick, but the contract was so
on paper,
bad.
he was exactly it. But
Cannon. He was ultimately paid $39 million, which broke down to $5 million a win, $2 million a touchdown pass.
What?
And it put the then Oakland Raiders. I mean, it just solidified them as a dumpster fire of an organization, as a team, as a players, as a roster. I mean, Jamarcus Russell, love you, buddy, but 290
good.
and
And that
didn't
was
watch
spectacular.
Yeah,
But,
chronically
and then-
overweight, and he was in no shape to start for the Raiders until the very last game of the regular season. So he was deemed too fat until week 16 before he could. Now, mind you, this is your number one pick. This is your franchise. You are building everything around this
Real
guy.
Zion Williamson energy there.
So that's my first pick, Joey. I'm liking this time. It's a fun one.
It's a good pick.
This is it's so depressing, the amount of money being thrown
The
at
amount of
just
potential that was
scumbags.
just washed down the drain.
I'm going to go with another baseball here, and this is
King of bad
I think it's
contracts.
arguably in baseball before this Ohtani ridiculousness. This was known as like the worst sign ever. Baltimore Orioles first baseman Chris Davis. Okay, Chris Davis got the nickname Crush Davis because from 2012 to 2015, he averaged per season 40 home runs and 103 RBIs. The guy was unbelievable. Now, what makes this the worst contract ever is because the Baltimore Orioles do not spend money.
Ever.
It never, ever do. So the one time that they decide we're going to reach in our pockets and we're going to give a massive contract, and I mean massive, 7 years, $161 million for Chris Davis. 7 years, $161
And it was the right
million.
signing. It was the right signing.
At the time, it was.
He was their
Now,
pillar.
what makes this even worse for the Orioles over the next 4 years? So he did not even come close to making it through his contract. Made it about halfway through before they're like, oh, Jesus Christ, just get off the field.
Because he was a strikeout
From
machine.
2016 to 2020, he went from averaging 40 home runs to 18 and 103 RBIs to 46 And in 2015 and 2016, he had 208 and 219 strikeouts in those back-to-back seasons.
While taking up the number 4 spot in the lineup, probably.
That's right. So
jeez.
when you look at this, that means that when it was all said and done, the Baltimore Orioles paid Chris Davis $8.9 million per home run.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
And that
Oh, my
absolutely crushed them. They were not able to recover until this past season because they've had nothing but draft picks. And now they've got Adam Rauchman, who's outstanding. They have Gunnar Henderson, who's outstanding. They won't be able to pay him. They don't have any money
because
baseball contracts
Davis.
are fully guaranteed. So they have to owe him $161 million.
Until what? Isn't it until like 2030? Like he's on payroll for forever.
Let's see. He signed it in 16. So I think he's got one more year and he's done. You know, and it's but just think I mean, this is so insane about Ohtani. The Dodgers are going to have to pay him $700 million. $700 million. They're going to have to pay him that.
One more time
fully
for the people
guaranteed.
in the back.
In 2040? That's when the Juice Boys show really takes off, is 2040.
Oh
Can't
my
wait.
God. So
Can't
yeah.
wait. Book it.
Anyway,
Book
poor Chris Davis he got the money and he just
Is it poor Chris Davis, or did he sign the
Could not
dotted
play.
line and he just stopped giving a shit?
No, he tried. He played full seasons. He just could not.
Yeah,
You
but
can't-
just because you
can't
try
have
doesn't mean you
200
train.
You can't have 216 strikeouts without trying.
I
All
could.
right? I mean,
I could strike out 216 times. You give me a chance?
I will try, and I will definitely strike out 216.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Now we can.
yeah.
Christopher, number 2.
So I had to take this in a bit of a creative direction. And this one's less about a bad single contract and more about a string of fantastically bad contracts.
Give it to me.
Are you fellas familiar with Carlos Raposo?
I am not, dude.
No.
I'm not
Educate
Carlos
us.
Raposo. No, I'm not.
So his nickname is Carlos Kaiser, and he is from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And he is known as the greatest footballer to never play football. The dude,
Okay.
the dude played for all 4 of Rio's biggest clubs, in addition to multiple international clubs in Mexico, the U.S., and Europe, and had a career that spanned more than 2 decades playing professional soccer. And he didn't play soccer
What do you mean?
Like it was a con the whole time?
the whole time. So
Wait,
his
what?
approach was to make friends
It was an actual
with players.
con?
He was like a legit con man.
Oh my goodness!
He would make friends with players, journalists, and quote unquote powerful figures around football clubs while bragging about his accomplishments at other clubs so that people would be talking about him, but no one really knew who actually knew him or had heard of him until he would wind up getting a contract. And then as soon as he would sign a contract, he would fake an injury,
What?
keeping him sidelined for a quote unquote indefinite period of time. And then when he was
Oh my
pressed on these indefinite periods of times, he would bribe doctors to vouch for his injuries, allowing him to sustain
Oh my
his multi-decade career. And then I learned the greatest ever word. When this didn't work, Kaiser would fall back on what's called granny side, aka telling the team he needed time away due to the passing of his grandmother over and over again.
How many teams did he con this? 4?
He was
2 decades.
4 of the 4 biggest clubs in Rio, but he played for like 8 different professional soccer teams.
Played? But he was on a roster, never played a
he
minute?
was rostered. And so his thing would be, you know, that he would get in tight with the other players, and the ones that he was really tight with would kind of know his shtick, know that this was all, you know, a con,
my
but
gosh,
they
that's
enjoyed him. They thought he was a good dude. But my favorite, I've got to tell this story. This is the best story that I read on the entire list of his, you know, quote unquote accomplishments. At one point in time, he was brought in by a team that was owned by a mafioso type in Rio. A serious, you know, mafia, bad dude.
Bad guy.
You know, yeah. This guy ran headlines in the newspaper about, we just signed our second coming. We just signed the hottest new guy.
Oh no.
And then starts putting the pressure on Kaiser to get out on the field. And so eventually, you know, he calls down and tells the manager, put him on the field. I don't care what his injury is. I don't care what's happening. He's going out on the field.
Oh my God,
And
what do you
so-
look like?
And so this dude knows, like, I've got a legit gangster telling me to go out and play football. I know that either I go out and play and I'm exposed as someone who can't play
And I die.
and I die, or I refuse to play and I die.
I was gonna run straight into somebody and fake an injury again.
You know what this dude did?
Red
He
card.
went and started a fist fight with,
That's right,
with the
get a red
fans of
card.
the away team. He started a fist fight with the fans of the away team, got ejected, and then when he was questioned about it by the owner, he told the owner that they were talking shit about the owner and that
that's
he
so
was
genius.
He was backing him up. And he's like, "Hey man, I know you're frustrated with me. You know, my contract's almost up. Like I'll be out of here soon, and you can just move on." The owner responded by giving him a raise and an extension.
Oh my God.
This is incredible, dude. How
So
have
in
I
a
never?
conversation
how
around
was this not a 30
bad
for 30?
contracts, this is a apparently like his life story was bought by the BBC to turn into like a docuseries.
Holy shit.
But he's like he was like a legit con man.
Has he been sued out the ass, I assume, or no?
No, because this happened, you know, in South America in the 80s. You know, there were no rules. Like
Christopher, you're just blowing me. I can't keep up with this. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, so
That's
this is
so awesome.
so when I said it tied into Deshaun, it's, you know, just people who are faking injuries so that they can cash checks and live as a famous athlete. That's how I took this prompt.
Holy cow.
I can't believe that.
We're doing it wrong, guys. We're doing this whole thing wrong.
Man.
I wonder if he
Photoshop some
tried.
numbers.
I wonder if he really just put as much effort into playing football, out of conning it, if he would have been actually pretty good.
I saw a quote from one of his teammates. They said it was something to the tune of, "Oh man, he was a great guy, great footballer. His only problem was the ball."
Yeah, he just didn't play.
They said anytime he would actually practice, they're like he was great at finding open space because he would just run to the other side of the field
That's why
whenever.
you're doing it.
Yeah,
That's,
he would.
Soccer's one sport you could kind of
I'm open.
hide. You can
I'm
kind of
open.
hide in soccer. I'm going to go with surprising, a Hall of Famer,
Okay,
Steve Young.
Oh,
Okay, tell me about
okay,
it.
let's hear about this.
Okay. I think most people know he played in the USFL to begin.
Good.
He played
did.
for, Joey, if you can name the team he was for, then I will. If he
Let's
gets
see
this,
here.
I'm logged.
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. The Steagles.
It was LA. So if you
It
can
was
get
the
the
LA
LA.
Express.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I gave you.
I know you shouldn't have given it to me because I was thinking it because it was not Houston Gamblers, it wasn't New Jersey Generals, it wasn't Birmingham Stallions.
What
Yeah,
the
I got
fuck?
this-
You just
yeah.
Oh my
naming
God.
USFL
Yeah.
teams.
He's just preening now.
God.
So yeah, I would
You
have
are
got
the
it. LA
talent.
Express because when they came back, the LA Express weren't called the LA Express, but yeah. Okay.
Holy cow. Okay. You threw me.
Very impressive.
Okay, so Steve Young came out of BYU. He played in the USFL. The Express offered him a 40-year. 40 million.
I was gonna say, oh my God.
No, hold on. I did stutter, but that was not wrong. 40 million, 43-year contract.
What? What?
How?
40
How is that
million.
possible?
$43 million contract. So technically, it was a $5.9 million contract with an additional $34.5 million in deferred payments. So he went deferment way before Bobby Bonilla, about a decade
Wow.
before. Okay, so Young signed the contract when he was 22. Starting at 28, he would receive annual payments about $200,000 and increasing to $3.1 million sometime in the year 2027. It's not over. It's not over.
Oh my
The
God.
craziest part is the owner guaranteed these payments if the USFL went belly up or if Young decided to flee for the NFL, which he did.
So they said they would still pay it.
He would still pay it. So to this day,
No, he is not.
Wow.
Steve Young is getting
Wow.
paid by the USFL.
They don't exist. Who was paying it?
They don't exist. Someone had to keep a bank account open and had to keep putting millions of dollars in the in the bank account
You've got to be kidding me.
to pay. What is Steve Young, 62 at this point? Oh my, he's getting to pay
Oh my
$3
God,
million.
up
dollars.
there.
Unbelievable. Wow.
So, and he still went to the 49ers. Obviously, great career, Super Bowl winning after Joe Montana. But
He's a
what
Hall of
great
Famer,
business
dude.
move. What a great business move on his part.
Dude,
That is the most
sports
insane
contracts
contract.
make my head spin.
That's
How?
why the USFL went under, because they were giving these asinine deals. And
They
then
had to,
Donald Trump ran the complete league into the ground, because he was like the commissioner, because he was the one who created it and ran the New Jersey Generals. And when he just got pissed off and his team was bad, he sunk the league. And then everybody was just stuck with the money. But I had 43 years, $40 million.
And you didn't put a little byline of like, hey, if
Nothing.
this thing goes belly up,
You know what?
obviously we're done, right? No.
They put out some money. They signed Jim Kelly. They signed Herschel Walker. They signed Steve Young. They signed Vinny Testaverde. They signed Doug Flutie. I mean, the USFL was signing some big freaking names, dude. They were pulling Heisman Trophy winners away from the NFL, and then they were gone in 3 years.
Oh, any honorable mention contracts? Those are the two wildest ones that I could find. If you can go quick, do it.
I mean, I was otherwise just going to mention Jimbo Fisher's. Like, I can't
Oh my
believe
God.
nobody took Jimbo Fisher and just put
he
him up
never
on
has
a
to work
pedestal
again. He
for-
could work at Walmart and be happy.
I mean, I don't know if he's qualified.
He's not friendly enough to greet.
No,
That's true.
And my last one for honorable mention is something that I think is just the worst ever, because it's by, unfortunately, one of the worst franchises in sports history, the Chicago Bears. In 2014, the Bears decided to give Jay Cutler
Oh, that's right.
7-year, $126 million contract.
After he was
You
You know what
man.
Jay did to earn this contract?
Nothing.
Before this point,
Basically
he
nothing,
was
yeah.
56 and 48, 155 touchdowns, and 122 picks. What? All right. After they gave him that contract, he went 12 and 23 with 53 touchdowns and 34 picks.
Guys, we're doing it wrong. What are we doing?
Everybody tries to get to the second contract, and then when they get there, oh lordy, it is not
You
good.
have to have a GM with the nuts to say no.
All right, juice junkies, let's bring in 2024. Listen in some more on all major podcast networks, including Google, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Check out our YouTube clip of our first ever in-person recording last week. It was
In
so
our
fun.
PJs.
In our PJs. It was so great.
You guys notice how that Maker's bottle,
a blast.
the Maker's bottle just kept
Passing.
shrinking, and I didn't,
going
I
back
didn't,
and
I didn't
forth.
really realize
it
it.
kept disappearing and reappearing. And every time it reappeared, it was
Our father-in-law
Or
looked
empty.
at it, he's like, you guys are just passing that thing. It's just the line just shrinking. I'm like,
So
oh, I
let's
didn't
just
realize.
listeners become viewers and check us out on YouTube. If you're enjoying the show, please consider following and rating the show. Leave us a review if you listen through Apple. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, be a friend, tell a friend about the podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Juice Boy Show. Cody.
beautiful work.
Cody,
Yeah.
back to you.
Just about does it. Chris, who is sponsoring today's picks and Wheel of Degeneracy?
Yeah, so today's picks are brought to you by the NFL Referees Association.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
Not a lot of
We
money
here-
in that.
Yeah.
Part-time
Never
work. Part-time work.
We here at the NFL Referees Association are proud to report as eligible to start receiving applications now for the 2024 season. The NFL Referees Association is currently placing special emphasis on hiring candidates who meet our strict criteria.
Oh, gosh. I sent
First and
sarcasm.
foremost, a good candidate knows to run away when a player approaches, especially if they're from super duper scary Detroit. Next, the NFL Referees Association is hoping to help expand the NFL's current state of Swiftie mania by hiring candidates who recognize Travis Kelce from his god-awful dating show rather than his on-field performance.
Catching Kelsey.
Catching Kelsey.
Last, the NFL Referees Association is looking for applicants who are comfortable with meager part-time pay, allowing them to be ideal candidates for bribery from our beloved gambling partners, both legitimate and not so much.
And Jerry Jones.
So if these expectations describe you, find your closest zebra costume and head directly to Roger Goodell's house. The NFL Referees Association. For people who dreamed of becoming a clown but don't want to wear makeup.
Dude,
Good part-time work. Good part.
I can't
Solid.
believe
Hustle
I can't
game.
believe it's an honest and real conversation, but I really do think that game was rigged. I think that they wanted Jimmy Johnson. They really wanted Jimmy Johnson's Ring of
2-seed.
Honor thing to go in there. They want a home game in Dallas for the playoffs. That was rigged, bro. That was rigged. And I hate
That's
to
very
say it 'cause I
juicy.
love my sport, but that was first time I've watched him like, wow, the fix is in there. That was so bad. So
Chris,
bad.
how did we do last week during Chris? We lost a lot of money. So how do we do in these picks?
Yeah, dude, we did not do well.
We took a step back. We've been
boys.
podcasting for 100 years.
Sure didn't do great.
I had to put money in the account.
Oh no.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
So another mixed week. Juice Boy Joe, Juice Boy McCoy, sitting at the top with a 2-1.
Oh,
damn it.
Am I still in the lead?
I think Joe is.
You are.
I'm still
you're
in the
one
lead,
up. You're
baby.
one up. Yeah,
Still in the lead.
you're good. Wheel of Degen coming up next with a 1 and 2, which leaves me with another prideful offer.
Chris, what the hell's going on
Dude, I
here?
don't know.
What is
I don't know, but I'm
happening?
going down with the ship. I thought about doing the, the opposite of my
Just pick
picks.
the opposite.
No, I thought about doing that, but you know what? To hell with it. What am I doing but playing
Wait,
for
did
the
the,
love
the
of the
week that
game
you
at this
picked the
point?
opposites, did you go 0-3?
I think he did okay.
The week that I picked the opposites, of course, would have been my better weeks because I think I went 2-1 both times that I did that.
So let's do that again.
So bad.
Let's do that again. I am still the winner. I'm still leading.
We tied. You're currently leading. There's no.
I
you're not winning.
am leading, and I'm going to go into now our second season as champion picker from golf into football. All right, and I'm going to continue this with my first pick, Tampa Bay -4.5 over Carolina. All right, Tampa Bay needs this to make the playoffs. Baker Mayfield, our boy, the fan of the Juice Boys show. All Juice Boys love Baker Mayfield, all of them. All right, and so let's go. Tampa Bay -4.5 Carolina. They need it.
I'm going with Texans -1. It's an
I
old
wanted
pick'em.
that.
It's an old pick'em. It's to get in the playoffs. I'm really just betting on C.J. Stroud over Gardner Minshew.
That's good.
It is at Colts, but I think C.J. Stroud is bound for a little bit more specialness. Yeah, I'm really betting on C.J. Stroud, that young team. I think that I like that young defensive line too.
Yeah.
Chris, first pick.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and upset Joey here and go with Michigan -4.5
You
in the
son of a
Natty.
bitch.
Ooh,
He's
that
taking it early.
defense is stout. Defense wins championships, boys.
Second pick, Joe.
All right, my second pick. I'm going Washington +4.5 over Michigan.
Oh, jeez.
Washington is going to win this game. I'm calling it right now. Big Penix energy. It's gonna happen.
Oh boy.
Washington is going to come out. I think that his arm. Big Ten this year didn't have the quarterback play that the Pac-12 did, and Penix can sling it. He's threw for almost 500 yards in a college
was
football
wild.
playoff game. I'm taking Washington +4.5. Let's go Huskies.
I'm taking Eagles -5. These boys got to get their poop in a group going into the playoffs. I think they're still very dangerous in the playoffs. They're at the Giants. Man, if that game is closer than 5, they are that's a one and done team. They're so much better than I think this is a get right game going to the playoffs for the Eagles.
All right, I'm going Bears at Packers over 44. I think
look
both
at that.
quarterbacks are pretty hot right now. And once again, I'm back-to-back offers, so who gives a shit what I think?
Moving on.
All right, so I need my over/under. I'm going Buffalo, Miami over 49.5. I think this is going to be a shootout.
Oh, I'm so excited for that game.
These teams are just going to go off. It's going to be one back and forth. I hope it's an all-time. Hope it's an all-time classic here. But I'm taking over. I like the points in that game.
I guess I got to take my CFP game, 49.5. Let's take the over. Let's root for some points.
I got 55.5.
Yeah, what are you even looking at?
Oh, I had a different over. Yeah, fuck whatever the over is. Give it to me. I like points.
55.5. I like that too. There's going to be points scored. If Washington will win, there will be points scored. They will
Yeah,
not
that's
win.
that's
They
the
will not
thing.
win.
And,
They will not. If there's not a lot of points scored, they will lose.
Let's
Chris,
go.
Bring us home.
Wheel of Degeneracy.
Not yet. I got one more pick to make.
Like
Oh,
it matters.
I'm going Browns +7.
boo!
Oh man,
Joe Flacco is
You
not
know,
playing. You do know that.
I mean, sure.
Who's it? PJ Walker? Who the hell's throwing the
Yeah.
ball?
Oh, okay.
That's-
Flacco's not playing my roof.
Yeah, that's fine. They're playing
Cleveland-
against the Bengals. Bengals. I think Jake Browning came in, played pretty
hot.
well, and then
hot to
now
start.
is kind of cooled back down. I like the underdogs in that. Even if they wind up losing, I think it'll be close.
Shout out Jamar Chase for talking a bunch of shit about the Chiefs secondary, getting 3 catches for 40 yards, losing, and then still talking more shit about the Chiefs secondary. It made a lot of sense.
I love it. I love the shit talk.
Wheel of Degeneracy, Chris.
Wheel of
All right, boys.
Let's
Yeah,
do
we're spinning the wheel right now. So as we've been doing of recent, we've pre-selected our picks on the old Wheel of Degeneracy. We've got obviously the CFP, Washington, Michigan. We got Jets at Patriots, and we've got Falcons at Saints. And then on the wheel, as always, we've got away spread, home spread, under, over, and everybody takes a shot.
Oh,
Merry Christmas.
Is everybody ready
I got one.
for a shot? McCoy was drinking a shooter earlier, so I'm guessing that if we land on everybody needs to take a shot, that
find out.
means that we get to fill some dead air while McCoy gets his head out of his ass. Let's give her a spin.
Let's give her a spin, baby. There's the sound I love.
All right, we've got home spread. Michigan is technically the home team, so Michigan
Boo!
minus 4.5.
I don't want to put money on that. How am I going to put money on that? Because I got to put my. Oh, this is.
I mean, you don't gotta anything, Joey. You are an independent. You are a strong, independent woman who don't need no Wheel of Degeneracy. Let's give her another spin. All right, Jets at Patriots. So it's Jets +2.
Oh, gosh, what a shitty.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And last we've got Falcons at Saints.
This could be a.
Come on. Ooh, over.
No shots again.
Why didn't I take the
Wow,
under on the
over
Patriots
42.
Jets? What was the over under on the Patriots Jets? That's gross, probably.
Nobody wants to watch that.
Probably
Oh,
17.
it's 30.5.
Is it really?
30.5.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen it.
3-0?
3-0.
Are we talking like that's
five
lower
Rooney.
than Iowa? That is low. Oh my god.
I mean, both teams are bringing big Iowa energy right now. Both, just a couple of offensive juggernauts there.
I'm going the over. Bailey Zappi, baby. Let's go. Zappy it to me. That doesn't even make any sense.
In 2024, I don't have a segue to end the show. That's it.
Okay, way to go. We'll just crash and burn while.
2024. This is a new
while
year.
Joey
Just
giggles.
get out of here.
Zero segue into it. Guys, I love you so much. What a great episode.
Loves.
We were rock and rolling. We're making our goals for the year. We hope to grow this thing with all the sports morons out there.
Yeah. Tell your
Follow on
friends about it.
Instagram. Yeah.
Tell your
YouTube.
enemies about it.
Be a friend, tell a friend. Not be a friend, be a
Yes.
friend. You're already a friend.
DM us. We will read your hot shit takes on this program.
Absolutely.
So
Thank you
Love,
again,
love,
everybody.
love.
2023 made it real. Shout out to all my boys. Shout out Neil Cashman. Owen. I want to give Owen a shout out.
yes. If you listen to 2023, God bless you. That was our little proof of concept
got
to
to
see.
meet
Oh,
him
yeah,
a couple
shoot.
weeks back. Big Juice Junkie. Nice to meet him.
I meant to talk about that we're going to be doing a bracket for the NFL playoffs. So, Juice Junkies, be on the lookout for that on
Send us
social
your
media.
brackets.
Yeah, we'll do a big sign up and do some sort of, winner gets a
An
picture
orange.
of Joey naked and a Juice Boys show sticker.
Nobody wants that. It's illegal.
I love it. Love, love, love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.